Managers leave funds for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's because the manager didn't do a good job. Sometimes it's because the manager did a very good job and they're leaving to start their own mutual fund. So they want to be an owner of the business as opposed to being just an employee. Sometimes a manager will retire. They've had a long career and it's time to pass the torch to somebody else. When a manager leaves a fund, regardless of the reason, it is a time when you have to reevaluate the fund and you have to pay much closer attention to it than you would have had the management stayed the same. Sometimes we have a situation where the manager leaves and it's a retirement situation and that manager has spent a transition period over the past several years training his protege to take over the fund. And in that case, we might give them the benefit of the doubt for some time. If they're going to use the same methodologies and hopefully they're bright, they've been hand-selected by this manager to take over their legacy on this fund, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt and keep the fund. Now, you do have to watch it more closely than if the manager had been there and check the performance more often than you would otherwise. On the other hand, if you have a situation where you've got a manager that you like that has a demonstrated really good long track record and they leave and start their own fund, we are more likely than not to move the money that we have in their old fund to the new fund because, as I've said many times, we don't follow funds, we follow the manager. As far as I'm concerned, the name of the fund doesn't matter. There is a person or a couple of people who every day have to make the buy, sell, and hold decisions, and if that changes, then it's not the same investment that you made originally. Sometimes you'll have a merger of fund companies and they'll take, the buyer has a fund of that asset class, the one that's being bought has one, and they'll merge the two together, and you'll have the manager leave because they keep the buyer keeps the fund manager that they had before. That may be a situation where we want to take the money out. So I think you need to look at each situation of a manager change differently, analyze what the situation is, what the circumstances are, and what your options are. But certainly, anytime there's a manager change, it's really, really important that you pay much closer attention to the performance.